Ooh, tequila, strawberry black peppercorn.
Not yours?
No. We're gonna do book character. Is this Bella? Okay, well, I've already read Twilight. Jude from The Cruel Prince. I've seen The Cruel Prince. I don't think I know what it really is. Who would I search? I literally have no clue because I wouldn't want one. I wouldn't want a cameo from anyone. I don't want a personalized message. I might even give a fake name so I can pretend it's not to me.
Hey Kayla, thank you so much for this prompt.
Is your character a YouTuber? Yes. Is your character have a son? Yes, we're getting closer. Is your character a redhead? Yes. Lady Legend XO. Who is that? What's your favorite book? Hello friends, I'm Kayla. A lot of my time is spent filming reading vlogs where random things are selecting the TBR. And for every good idea I have 3 stupid ones. Ones that I cancel, ones that just don't make it onto the internet. I don't end up reading the books. I just have the idea and then I talk myself out of it. Today, the plan is to talk you through 4 video concepts that I had, maybe the books that I was going to read for them. And then in this video, I will film myself completing all of the concepts with like 1 book allotted to each one. So like I'm fulfilling the reading vlog idea, but not to its fullest capacity. I've done a couple of videos like this before, so I will link them down below in case you're not caught up on my channel. And let's see, the first idea that I had was based off of this video. I did Dress to Impress, which is like a game where you basically get a prompt and it's like how to choose your outfit based on this prompt. So it'll give you something like galaxy or animal or food or what you'd wear to the first day of school. And you walk around and you pick your outfit, and then whoever's in the room with you, like between 4 and 10 people, you all walk the runway, show each other your outfits, and rate each other. That's the whole game. It's my favorite thing. So I played the game for 1 video, I got a prompt, and I read a book similar to that prompt. It was really fun. I don't think my audience cares about Dress to Impress as much as me, so that vlog wasn't necessarily the most successful thing I've ever done, so anything that I was going to do in the future with Dress to Impress, I canceled. One of those ideas I feel like might have come up while I was playing with my channel members because we do these reading sprint live shows, and I usually play games in between the reading sprints. Dress to Impress is a favorite of ours. And maybe somebody mentioned that I should do something where like I choose the prompt, because you can also pay to write your own prompt. And like, what if I did book characters and then the other things that people dressed up as, then I have to go read those books. So rather than making it an entire vlog and picking 4 to 5 books, I've already filmed it, but I'm gonna play a couple rounds and then have a selection to choose from, and I'm gonna end up with 1 book that I end up reading. Definitely some interesting books that came of that. I can't wait for you to see what happened. The second video idea that I've canceled is I saw this in my feed a couple years ago. It's called the Buzzworthy something book, where it's about 50 literary legends and the cocktails that the person who wrote the book would assign to each of them, like what represents them or their writing. And I've had this idea in the back of my mind ever since, but I didn't really know how to fulfill it or what I wanted to do with it. I thought maybe the idea is to flip through it, and all of the authors that I haven't read, I'll drink each of their cocktails, and then whichever's my favorite, I'll read a book from that author. Or I go through it and I tell you my favorite authors and what their cocktail is, then I try my favorite author's cocktails. Like, there was just so many ideas that I couldn't hone in on just one, so I canceled it a couple years ago, but I've been thinking about it ever since. Also, I don't really like a cocktail, so maybe it was kind of daunting to think I'm gonna go and try like 10 different drinks or 20 or 50. Do I need to try all of the cocktails? Because I'm also a completionist, so maybe I was thinking you won't be satisfied by the vlog if I don't do all of them. So in this video, I'm going to maybe flip through and find like my favorite sounding beverages, and regardless of who the author is assigned to it, I will like read the first chapter of 3 books, end up with 1. I don't know. There's some kind of idea, and we'll get to it. But I have 2 more other concepts to pitch to you. The third one is Akinator. This has been around the internet for almost 2 decades at this point. He's basically this genie who plays 20 questions with you, and you choose like a character or an object or a real life person, and he asks all of these questions and eventually gets to the answer. He's wildly successful. People have done videos throughout time of them like trying to trick Akinator. This is one of my oldest video concepts, maybe like 10 years ago. I was like, what if I try to get him to guess a book character or a specific book, and the books that he guesses along the way to my favorite book, I read those. But then a new video idea struck me, and I was like, what if I try to get Akinator to guess me as a YouTuber and the people he guesses along the way, I have to find out their favorite book and read their favorite book. And I've played it with my channel members in reading sprints and it never got me. It never got close to me. So it was easy to cancel the idea. And then the fourth idea is one that I've shared before in canceled videos, I think, and it's just celebrities choosing my TBR. So many people have done video concepts like this, so it doesn't really feel that interesting or original. And also, I don't like celebrities. Like, there's nobody that I could think of that I would want to send me a custom video recommending me a book. Also, when I've watched other people do the concept, I know Megan and Bethany have done it. I know watching Megan's, like, she often gets nonfiction, because if you're a celebrity, you're thinking like, how maybe can I give someone advice through this? Like the Cameo is basically a website where you can pay a celebrity just send you a video, like a happy birthday or like a nice message. And it's so much money to invest in the off chance you don't get a good book recommendation. And they often like let you get to know that celebrity better, but that's not what I would want it for. I would want something custom recommended to me. And in that case, I can't expect the person to like go look at my Goodreads and find me a favorite. I would rather pay a professional to recommend me a book. But I figured I would go on Cameo for the first time with you and we would just find one person rather than 5 to 6 for a full vlog, and we'll just get one thing suggested to me. So I guess let's, without further ado, get into the vlog and you'll see everything that I read and did and how it goes. So the original plan when I was going to do this video is I was going to do 5 rounds, and in each one I had to pick a book character and then read the book. In this moment, I think I'll do 3 rounds, and I will compile all of the books and I'll pick something that I'm actually interested in reading. Hopefully something pops up like that. I imagine it's just going to be a bunch of children's books. Like, that's the characters that come to mind first. Like, I've been in rounds where I've had to do fairy tale, and I've done like Humpty Dumpty, or I've done like Rapunzel. Things that come to mind quickly are children's things, or things that have been around for a long time, things that are really popular. But also maybe there's like some fantasy series, like whoever the main character in like Fourth Wing or Throne of Glass or A Court of Thorns and Roses or something, maybe people will dress up like that and I won't even know what character they are until they tell me. But of course I'm wearing my Cabeswater sweater. I am not dressed to impress today because I'm gonna dress up like Blue. Okay, the current theme running is follow me. I don't know what that means. Oh, everyone dressed the same. Okay, so I guess there was like a leader and she went and got dressed and everyone else just did what she was doing. We're gonna do book character. Added to the queue. Okay, so that means that there maybe is another custom theme running before mine does? Well, now I have to play that one first because I already spent my money. Sanrio. What is that? Okay, it's some kind of stuffed animal thing. Okay, we're in the runway. This is how everybody dressed. I think it's Hello Kitty and like her friends or something. Mine's gonna be last. I dressed up as a bear. Oh, there's Hello Kitty. That's cute. I don't know what I did. I just made the head thing really big and then I put on a dress of like patterns. Okay, book character. Let's go. What I think of with Blue is like she has black short hair. It's messy and she puts a bunch of clips in it a lot. So I'm just gonna put in some like little buns, earthy greens and maroons and mauves. I think she does like colorful stuff or like quirky things. She does like feminine mixed with masculine. I think she would do like a floral skirt with a flannel shirt. I just got this Holy shirt the other day with a new update, so I'm gonna go put that one on. I think this is recognizable as Blue, maybe. That's not the important part though. The important part is what other people are gonna do and what I'm gonna have to read. Oh my God, who is that? What is that? Napoleon from Animal Farm? Okay. Oh, is this Bella? Okay, well, I've already read Twilight. Oh, that's oh, what's her name? Junie B. Jones? Wait, that's so cute. I already read that. If you give a mouse a cookie? I mean, surely I've read that. Oh, there's me. Cute. Is that Alice from Twilight? Hey, that's fun. What is that? Five Nights at Freddy's? Is that a book? Shannon, what? Shannon B13? I don't know if anyone will know her. No. Okay, that's everyone. That was fun. I didn't get on the podium, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go into a different server because I don't want to make them repeat the same thing. That'd be silly. I'm just gonna do blue again, but this time we will do a long sleeve under overalls with like a flannel tied around her waist. Yeah, and that's my blue look number 2, but let's see what everyone else has going on. Oh, who is that? Oh, the Little Prince. I was like, this looks like a familiar character to me. That's incredible. Okay, I have read The Little Prince actually recently. Who is that? I mean, it could just be an ambiguous book character. Like in your head, you imagine a book character would look like that. Oh, it's me. Which look do you like better for blue? Look 1 or look 2? Who's that? White Queen Alice in Wonderland. I haven't read Alice in Wonderland. Prue? Wait, that's a good idea. And they did really well. Oh, that was everybody. Okay. Hey, I won! Oh my gosh. Okay, new server. Let's do it. Here, let's see if you can guess what I am as I go. Specific eyes that I'm looking for. Okay, those are good. Oh, and then this will probably give it away. I mean, maybe. These feet, hooves. Okay, we've got the cow print on. Do you have it? Do you know it? There's this bow in here, and now that we can change different things, I'm gonna put the bow like right on top of my head and I can adjust where it is. I am indeed the cow who jumped over the moon. But let's see what everyone else is. Oh, a cat with swords. Jude from The Cruel Prince. I've seen The Cruel Prince. I don't think I know what it really is. Johnny and Dallas from The Outsiders. I love that. Oh, this is Wonder Woman. I've dressed up as Wonder Woman. The belt is crazy. I did Wonder Woman once. I should have grabbed the bell and I could have put it around my neck. If that's one you can move. Some items you can move and some you can't. One more left. Who is that? Chopper? I don't know who that is. You look great. I just don't know who it is. It's Chopped. Wait, they all know who that is. Oh, Katniss. She has an arrow. That makes sense. Hey, I got second place. Oh gosh, what are my options here? B13, Alice in Wonderland, The Cruel Prince. As you saw, I included the book covers for the books, so as I was editing, I figured out what all of the books referenced were. And in total, there were characters mentioned from 13 different books. 7 I've already read. There were 3 that I just wouldn't ever pick up, and the other 3 are ones that are more traditional novels, and all of them are written for the youth. They're all YA or children's books. The right answer, obviously we all know the right answer, is Alice in Wonderland. 1, because it's a classic that is crazy that I haven't read it. 2, because I own 2 copies of it. 3, because it's on my scratch off poster. And obviously that's what everybody wants, the satisfaction of scratching something else off of there. However, I did grab The Cruel Prince from the library, and when I was at the bookstore, because it's not available at the library, Binding 13 I learned about, I saw it in the wild. It's like 600 pages. I don't know why a YA romance would ever need to be 600 pages. So I am gonna commit to reading this, but I also feel like I should just try out the other 2 for fun. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Those are both included in both of the ones that I have. I think I'm just gonna read the first one because I have a feeling I'm not gonna like this. I've never been tempted to read it. I've never been interested in any of the adaptations. The only reason I even know what the story is, like for some reason, I don't feel like I grew up with this story. I don't know anybody who's ever like talked about it. I feel like it became a movie, like maybe it became, oh no, wait, okay, it was an animated movie and I just didn't grow up liking animated movies that much. I know that's unusual. I like them even less now, but when I was maybe a teenager or young adult, that's when the live action started being made, and I'm pretty sure I've seen a trailer and it just did not look like it would be for me. But when I had Liam, I'm sure I have a picture on my Instagram of me fake reading this. Like I never said that I read it or that I was going to read it or anything. It was just a cute picture of me and Liam with his version of the book, which was for young readers. And I definitely read that with him. So the only things that I know about the story is because of that. It's a girl named Alice, no idea how old she is, no idea what the purpose of the story is or what she has to accomplish or what's going on in her real life. Does she fall into like a rabbit hole, right? She ends up in this magical world where there's like a rabbit who has a watch, and there's a Cheshire cat with a big smile, and there's a big caterpillar. I know there's like a table of people and they're having this tea party, and there's a queen. I thought the White Queen was somebody from Narnia, and I thought it was the Red or what's she called? The Queen of Hearts. I thought that was the villain from Alice in Wonderland. So I don't know who this lady even is. My thing is, I don't like talking animals. And I think that that is just the majority of what she encounters, is making friends with all of these animals. So we're testing out all 3 things, and I'll get back to you when I have something to say about all of them. I've now introduced myself to all 3 stories, and there's no way you're about to predict what I'm gonna say. If you guessed, I'm actually really enjoying this and want to continue, you're wrong. If you guessed, I'm about to say, I am enjoying this and I actually want to continue, which is surprising, you're wrong. If you guessed, I'm most interested in Binding 13 and want to continue, you'd be right. Nobody guessed that. Not that I'm actually enjoying it, I just really am not enjoying these. This just feels really, I don't know, classic, like 2013, I want to say, where you're just following a teenage girl who is so small and so little, so fragile and so unhappy in life, and she starts at a new school and the big strong sports boy is actually interested in her. But side note, she's actually the most beautiful, attractive person he's ever seen, and he's 2 years older and he's just enamored by her. Wouldn't everybody just love that feeling, to go to high school and think that you're so, like, everyone makes fun of you and you have all these bullies and you just think you're scrawny and sad and ugly, but then you find out you're actually the prettiest person ever and everyone was just jealous of you. That's how you were being bullied, and in fact, like, the star rugby player is obsessed with you. I don't know how I've never heard of Binding 13, because it is so popular. Like, it has so many readers. The Cruel Prince, like, I could read this. We got into things so quickly. We have twins, Jude and Taryn, and I learned that the thing that was on her head, I think those are supposed to be horns, but she thinks she's a human and then pretty quickly learns that her father is actually from this other place, and her father takes her and now she's living in Fairy, and there's this boy who she hates, but I think that's going to be her love interest just because his name was familiar. I can't remember it now. It started with a C. Carden. I feel like this would be a 3.5 star by the end. Like, I'm sure it would be fine. If I were to continue Alice in Wonderland, I might give this a 2. Everything's happening way too quickly. She fell into the hole in the first paragraph, and she's already communicating with all of these animals and drinking and eating things that make her bigger and smaller, and I just don't care, and I feel like a terrible person. So I'm gonna read Binding 13. I'm partially kidding. I'm gonna read this. I am. Put your guesses down below of how many pages I'll get to before I DNF, because I could easily give up on this one too. But right now, you know what? It seems the most interesting to me. Reading these 2 books in tandem was certainly a choice. My thoughts, like 5 chapters into Alice in Wonderland, good lord, Alice is an unlikable character. She's so annoying, it's so irritating, and at the same time I want to respect the fact that she, unlike other protagonists in these types of books, like for this age range and published at this time, she has agency and she has really strong beliefs and isn't just like some soft kind, like, welcome to the forest and we're all best friends kind of vibe. She has more of an edge to her, and she's like standing up for herself, but in an obnoxious way. And then Binding 13, my thoughts 6 chapters in, it's interesting that we're reading from both their perspectives. We have Shannon and Johnny, and the audiobook narrator, there's 2 of them. So that's nice that we're hearing from both. However, it has gotten sexually explicit, not them engaging with each other, but about their own thoughts and bodies, and I'm worried for where it's gonna go. Considering these characters are half my age, I don't want to be reading it. But now I feel like people are going to tell me that I should have committed to The Cruel Prince, because like I would have ended up liking it or something. What's a girl to do? A girl is to finish the book she's reading, give it 2 stars, and scratch it off the poster. Let's zoom on in. Well, I also scratch off something else. I had a couple people remind me that I've actually read something else on here. Right next to Alice in Wonderland, we have The Kite Runner, which I read a couple months ago, and I don't even think I knew it was on here. And then Alice, which I didn't like, and it kind of fits with what I've been saying about not liking fever dream books lately. Every single page was a different thing. The story was told at breakneck pace. There was really no plot, no structure to follow, and I understand it's for children, whatever. I didn't have a good time with it. I didn't like it. I still don't like the talking animals. I don't think there was anything intriguing about Alice or the plot. So now you might be wondering, Kayla, what are you gonna do next? Are you going to continue Binding 13? Are you going to continue The Cruel Prince? Are you going to move on to the next video concept? So I'm a third of the way through The Cruel Prince now. Why? I have no idea. But I kept reading and I was thinking, there's gonna be a moment where I know for sure I want to continue with it or I want to DNF it. Like there's gonna be a sign. And on page 112, look at my sign. It's Jude is talking about Alice in Wonderland. She's reading Alice in Wonderland. She's sharing passages from Alice in Wonderland. You might be thinking, okay, well, you didn't like that. So do you mean it's a sign to not continue? No, I think it is leading me into this book and I'm gonna keep reading. A lot of times when a book kicks off like this, where we have a human character who learns about a magical world that their family's actually from, I lose interest really quickly because they're just like getting to know this magical world and they're so enamored by everything and everything is like so magical compared to their real lives, and I just find that kind of a boring premise. But in here, we skipped all of that. It was only the first chapter where she learned that she has fairy, like she needs to go to the land of the fairy. And then in the next chapter, it jumped ahead years later where we were like already established in fairy and her life was a certain way. Sorry, I just realized my air is probably blowing right into the microphone. So when we start hanging out with Jude, she is treated poorly. A lot of the humans in this world are servants. She's one of the only ones that isn't, but she's still treated incredibly poorly by the fairies, including what's his name? Carden. In fact, Carden tries to like drown her at the beginning of the book. And I'm interested to see what Holly Black is going to do with his character. Jude is really committed to becoming a knight because then she can protect all of her family and her sister. And she says a couple times that she doesn't want to be controlled. Her number one goal in life is to not be controlled and to help everyone in her life be protected. And she's very much a type 8. As a fellow type 8, I'm connecting with her a little bit. She makes a deal basically that fairies can no longer glamour her. And the deal that she makes with somebody is that she's now going to be a spy, which spy stories aren't always my favorite, but I think it's interesting. I don't even know what she's trying to learn. She's just supposed to infiltrate the kingdom, pretend that she is one of the servants and like learn things about the world. I still think it's gonna be a 3-star, but I just wanna continue reading. So that's what I'm doing. Here's what I'll say about The Cruel Prince, okay? Admittedly, it's very readable. I don't know that I see everybody's 5-star like obsessiveness with this, but it's very readable, marathonable, engaging for sure. I don't know if like the world building is even that good. I don't know if the writing is really doing anything special. It just has a way of keeping you very intrigued. But literally, this is the most hormone-fueled teenage romance in a fantastical setting, in the most just like ridiculous scenario. The way they went from hate to love at the pace that it did, that, wow, whiplash. I don't think it's actually compelling enough for me to continue. I'm giving it a 3.5, and I feel like some people would call that a win. I really do not want to go into this with a bias. I don't know what authors are in here, and I truly want to pick the author based on the beverage that I like. I don't just want to read all the recipes and pick which I think I would like more. I think I need to make some of these and then pick an author from that. And if I flip it open, I don't think I can hide it from myself. Like, I would have to hide this, I would have to hide this, I would have to hide this in order to just see the recipe for what it is. If I was making it into an entire video, I think I would choose the authors first, try their beverages, read like 5 books by 5 authors. Since I'm only choosing one, I think I'll still make 3 drinks. And the thing about me is I'm really picky about alcohol. I really don't drink. Literally, the last time I drank, you were probably there with me. It would have been the moment where I did like taking a shot or reading something off of my TBR. Literally, those little tequila bottles are still in my cupboard. I like tequila and I like whiskey, and those are the 2 things that I have, and I'm going to lean towards those. Like, I'm really not, I don't know, I don't like beer, I don't like gin, I don't like vodka. I really don't like cherry flavored stuff. I don't like chocolate in drinks. I don't like vermouth. There's probably a longer list of things I don't like. Let me tell you things I do like. Citrus, anything with like, not blueberries, but berries, any other berry. Watermelon flavored things. Yeah, lemon, lime. I like having to turn the glass upside down and put something on the rim. So now that you know that, it will feel authentic for me to hopefully find 3 drinks in here that are those vibes. Oh, here's a list of things you'll find in here. Okay, hold on. Okay, also really hate coconut. I also am not gonna put an egg in a beverage. Oh, grapefruit, love grapefruit. Dairy, that's not gonna be happening in my beverages. Oh, brandy, no. Rum, no. Garbanzo beans. This is so pretty. The first one, obviously, we've got Toni Morrison. I'd be happy to read a Toni Morrison. Gin, blueberry, heavy cream. Never has it been easier to skip someone. Oh, peach. I also really like peach and mango. This one has peach and lemon, but it's rum. We've got basil, strawberries, and bourbon. I want to pick something that seems a little more unique. Like I've had basil strawberry beverages before. Oh, this one I think, does 0 proof mean like virgin? Like there's no actual alcohol in it? Because this one has wild strawberries, which sounds great. Juniper cardamom syrup, lemon juice, club soda, rosemary, and lemon. Louise Erdrich. This sounds good. Hey, we've even got Elena Ferrante. Bourbon, lemon, egg white. I'm not doing that. Mary Shelley, Octavia E. Butler. Oh my God, it makes so much sense. Bourbon for Gillian Flynn. I've already read all of her books, but this one is bourbon and blood orange. Ooh, tequila, strawberry black peppercorn syrup. Oh, this is Roxane Gay. I've read these 2, but I have one in my closet. Hold on. Fresh lime juice, pinch of salt, and a dehydrated lime wheel. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. These are my 3 beverages. These are my 3 authors. They're gonna go head to head next time you see me. I'm also gonna read the blurbs about all of the authors and why this drink was chosen for them and like their, I don't know, brief life story. I don't know what this is, but I'm interested to read, so I'll see you in a second. So interestingly, the 3 authors that I chose, my fridge is really loud, I hope you don't mind, are 3 authors in my TBR closet. I was gonna skip one of them because it didn't seem the most interesting because it was strawberry and basil, but I realized that like I haven't had strawberry, basil, and bourbon, so why am I acting like that's a flavor combo that I'm familiar with? Of the 50 literary greats in here, I have read 27 of them. While a lot of them are on my mental TBR, only 3 of them are actually on my physical TBR, and they all had drinks that I was interested in. They do, granted, all have strawberries, so maybe that's why, but this worked out so weirdly well, and I'd be happy to pick any of these. So we've got the Roxane Gay, we've got the Zora Neale Hurston, and we've got the Louise Erdrich, and Rob is now here. I'm not done the drinks, but we're gonna try them together and rank them. Here, while I get it ready, why don't you read them the recipe?
The Roxane Gay. 2 shots silver tequila. 3/4 shots strawberry black peppercorn syrup. Refer to page 143. 3/4 shot fresh lime juice with 1 pinch of salt. To garnish, please use dehydrated lemon wheel. Nope, lime wheel, the green one. Shake, 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 shake your booty.
I didn't have the energy to dehydrate lime slices today, so look how pretty this is. I thought it was too much tequila, but I think it's good. I think it's good!
It's too much tequila.
But I made this, and this, it's pepper and strawberry.
Need a little more of that to sweeten it up, yeah. Oh, how did that make it stronger?
No, I made it sweeter. Why is it stronger? Wait, it's bad now. What happened?
Maybe we need a little bit of salt? Okay. That worked?
The pepper is so good. I liked my first sip the most.
Yeah.
I would have rated that first sip like a 7.5 out of 10.
Probably 5. I'm not a tequila guy though. We'll be doing the Zora Neale Hurston. 6 basil leaves. 2 strawberries. Sliced. 1/4 shot of basic simple syrup. Refer to page 142. 2 shots of bourbon. In a mint julep cup, thoroughly muddle basil and strawberries with basic simple syrup. Pat glass with crushed ice and add bourbon.
Spring added. This straw is too big.
Not yours?
No. Oh, I like my bourbon not sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That's not for me.
That's too sweet.
That was a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zora. She didn't invent this. Somebody just assigned it to her.
Louise Erdrich.
Ooh.
2 wild strawberries sliced. 1 shot of juniper cardamom syrup.
I made it.
Refer to page 142. 1 shot of fresh lemon juice. 4 shots of club soda or soda water. Garnish is rosemary and a lemon wheel. Place strawberries in the bottom of a Collins glass and pour in juniper, cardamom syrup, and lemon juice. Using a muddler, muddle strawberries thoroughly. Add ice cubes to top of glass and top with club soda. So this one also required a glass straw. That's baller.
I made that syrup.
Oh, that's...
Sorry. I will be patient in this moment.
I don't even care if we put too much lemon juice. That's baller.
Is it too much lemon juice?
Yeah, it's just straight lemon basically, but that's like the best lemonade I've had. That's real good.
Well, also maybe we're not alcohol people. Because this has no alcohol in it. And it's our favorite.
That just tastes like a fancy...
Oh, that's so good. It's a strawberry lemonade, but with a little...
Je ne sais quoi.
It's such an interesting thing I created. I think we can use more of it, actually.
Try and
That's good.
cut the sourness of the lemon. Yeah. That's really good, though. Good job making those syrups. They're really good.
Thank you so much. That made it perfect. That's so good. I'd make that again. I love that. I mean, it's just a cup of sugar at this point. I'm actually going to finish this one. The other two, I don't know. Yum. Thank you.
Thank you. It was fun.
I was just editing the clips of us making those drinks. For one, why did nobody tell me how disgusting it is underneath my cabinets? And 2, all you saw was the montage of us making the drinks. You didn't hear the behind the scenes for some reason. I found it so funny. Rob and I giggling over these drinks, so I'm putting it as like an uncut piece of footage for my channel members. If you want to see that, the link is down below. Okay, now we can talk about the book. I'm only 50 pages in and I haven't read the synopsis since I originally bought this, so I don't fully know what it's encompassing. Obviously it has to do with pregnancy. And in the first 50 pages, we have met our main character, Cedar. And she was adopted by this white family. She's currently 26 and she is wanting to reconnect with her Ojibwe roots and her family, her birth family. There's something happening in the world that I don't think we fully have a grasp of yet, but it's in the near future and it's some type of apocalyptic scenario. In the first 50 pages, she goes and meets her birth family and she has met with a doctor. I just stopped there because it was a really interesting scene where he learned about her family history and was very quickly like, you need to get out of here. Like, we can't have any record of your pregnancy or your birth or whatever, like save yourself, which is very interesting. So I'm wondering if they must like want her baby or something, like the government or something like that. And I heavily fuck with the way that this is written. It's written to her baby in a sort of epistolary format. There's something about the writing that is just very appealing to me, and I will try to get the words to explain exactly what it's doing, but it's strange. It's a slightly unique writing style, and I'm really just loving it. So now let's read the synopsis. Evolution stops. Evolution stops as mysteriously as it began. Pregnancy and childbearing quickly become issues of state security. Swelling panic creates warring government, corporate, and religious factions. In a mall parking lot, Cedar witnesses a pregnant woman wrenched from her family under a new law. As she evades capture, Cedar also experiences a fraught love with her baby's father, who tries to hide her. A dystopian thriller about female agency, love, self-determination, biology, and natural rights. So they want her because she can bear children, maybe, but also she maybe got pregnant. Like, I wonder, did she get pregnant before this was a known thing? And so she's one of the only like remaining pregnant people and they want to hold on to them, or she somehow got pregnant even though the rest of the world is unable to bear children. I don't know if they want her or they want the baby. Maybe they just want to study her. So this is very reminiscent, of Indigenous history. Hunting down Indigenous people is not a new concept or one outside of reality. So I'm sure this has a lot to say about, our current state, as well as being a kind of speculative situation. Rambly and aimless feeling. I think those are some of the words people would describe this book as if they weren't enjoying it. And that kind of sums up the style. And what I like about a lot of dystopian books is the ones that are quiet and intimate and very internal. Like I said, this is written in letters, and therefore it feels almost like a confessional kind of diary entries, but more conversational than that. Cedar is witnessing a lot of what's happening around her and just sharing her thoughts on things and how she has to move about in the world as a pregnant person. And it's not so much about setting the scene for this dystopian future and what the world looks like and how everything functions, because it's just from her very limited knowledge perspective. So any like tension and fear that she would have felt in this scenario is not really on page because she's reflecting on a lot of things. So it's not necessarily a visceral experience for the reader, but if you like similar dystopian things to me, then I think you could be into this. I love the style of it. I wasn't expecting it to get more plot focused or for her to end up in imprisonment like herself, which I do think, I don't know if it really talks about that, but that's such a huge part of the book that as she tries to evade capture, she doesn't always evade capture. And it's sad, a lot of what she's going through and what she's seeing other people go through, because I wasn't necessarily expecting that to be an element of it. I don't know if that's why I didn't love that portion, but I think like the first part of the book and the third part of the book were so strong that I didn't love the middle portion, but I'm going to end up giving this one a 4. Because of what happens in here, that definitely makes sense why people compare it to A Handmaid's Tale a lot, which I haven't actually read, but I understand the parallels even more. Yeah, definitely a good time. As far as the reason that I read it and this book, I like it. I would definitely recommend you pick this up if you're a cocktail kind of person and you feel like you would actually want to make some of these things. I did end up reading through some of the author bios, and that is what they are. They're just author bios. There's not really a lengthy description of why that cocktail was chosen, which I think I would have enjoyed a little bit more detail for. Like, I don't know, showing that the authors kind of have evidence of why they chose what they chose, that they're really in tune with the authors that they're writing about. One of these is a well-known illustrator. One of them like makes a lot of books about drinks. For example, after the whole bio, there's just one line that says, Airdrick's cocktail incorporates the woodsy taste of juniper berries and flavorful wild strawberries. Like, that's all we really get about the cocktail. And perhaps because there isn't like necessarily a good reason why each one was chosen for each person, but it would have been fun to be a little bit longer. There are some that are funny though. Tori Peters, for example, it finishes the bio with, when she's not engaged in literary pursuits, Peters rides her motorcycle around Brooklyn, a Kawasaki, which she painted pink to dissuade men from assuming it might be a boyfriend's bike. Her cocktail is hot pink too. So that just gives me like more evidence for why that was chosen. And I can make some connections, right? Like juniper berries, that's very nature focused. Wild strawberries, you know, nature indigenous focused. I think I just would have liked it a little more spelled out. Celeste Ings is set on fire. I would have had to set a drink on fire. Gillian Flynn's just says Flynn's cocktail is a little bloody and ice cold. But like, you could have talked about the fact that literally there's a whole line, a really well-known line about whiskey or bourbon in Gone Girl. Anyway, this was fun, and I could imagine myself going through here and making more content about it. Today is the day for Akinator. I played this a couple times on live stream with my channel members and it never got me. It didn't get me a single time, but since then people have told me that they played too to try to get me and they have gotten me. So maybe it's been fed enough information about me at this point. Basically, it gives you questions like, is this person this? Is this person this? You say yes or no, and then it like forms all of this information and then applies it to a person, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna guess, are you this person? And usually it's another, because I've gotten into like creator or bookish stuff, and it'll be like, is it this person? And it's creator, and like they're kind of similar to me, and then I have to say no, and then there's 20 more questions, and then no, it's not that person, 20 more questions, and it just keeps going and keeps going. And so I figured like the 5 people that show up, one of them has to be a reader, and then I'll just read one of their favorite books. If I was making it into a whole video, I would be choosing like 5 different people and reading a book from each of them, but it's hard to find like a bookish person at all. So let's just play today and see what happens. We're calling me a character because it's like people, objects, or animals. Is your character real? Yes. Is your character an adult man? No. Does your character sing on a stage? No. Is your character a girl? Yes. Is your character a gamer? No, but like gaming adjacent. Black hair? No. Is your character linked with Roblox? No. Character older than 18? Yes. Is your character a YouTuber? Yes. Green legs? No. Is your character trying to solve a mystery? I mean, I read mystery books. Let's say probably. Does your character have a son? Yes, we're getting closer. Does your character have a daughter? No. Is your character a redhead? Yes. Does your character have 2 cats? No. Lady Legend XO. Who is that? I'll look this person up. Let me write their name down. Let's continue. Yes, I'm from Canada. Do they run a literature club? Yes. Does your character live with a child? Yes. The name of an animal? No. It's me! Oh, that's a good picture too. It got me so fast. I was expecting to have like 5 different people show up. Let's look up Lady Legend XO. Hopefully she's got some good reading recommendations for me. What's happening? Okay, she's like a live streamer. Oh, she's live right now. I've been playing Call of the Wild for 7 years. What?
You do.
Is she killing animals? Is she killing animals? I guess I could just ask her. This is unhinged. What's your favorite book? What a random question to ask. Like, why would she answer me?
What is my favorite book? I don't have one. I don't read that much. I really just don't have time.
You have 2,194 kills into the Great One TAHR grind in TA Live. How do you not have time? Respect the grind. I think it's worse that she answered. Oh God, I'm gonna die when I have to do the cameo one. Okay, I played a couple more times last night and it just kept guessing me. So Akinator successfully knows who I am. Awesome. I need to find someone else though who has similarities to me where I can get some book recommendations. So we're gonna play one more time. I think the trick is to not get me is to not answer all the questions accurately, but almost accurately. So instead of saying yes and no, I'll say like probably, probably not. So I can get near me, but not exactly me, because Akinator knows too much. I have fed them far too much information. Character. Is your character a girl? Yes. Is your character animated? No. Have any kids? Let's say don't know. Like, I don't know about this person because I don't need to get somebody who has kids, you know? The important things are like the hobby related things, the things that will get me to an influencer, to a reader, to a streamer. A YouTuber? Yes. A gamer? Let's say probably. Have pink hair? I mean, I could. Show their face a lot? Yes. Maybe I have a gaming channel. Is your character chubby? Sure. Is your character a variety streamer? I don't know what that means, but I like it. I'm thinking of Vanilla Mace. Who's that? Ooh, they look fun. Okay, let's find out. YouTuber? A variety streamer? Oh wait, I know her. Wait, she was literally on my FYP for the first time ever on TikTok yesterday, teaching me what a labubu was. I kept hearing things called labubus and I didn't know what they were. And then she like unboxes them. Okay, so she vlogs. If she reads, I bet we can find a book. Oh my God, she plays Dress to Impress. She is me, I am her, we are one. Maybe if I scroll her Instagram. I don't see any books. If I search her username in books, nothing comes up. If I search her name on TikTok in books, nothing comes up. She is live on Twitch tonight in like 4 hours. So maybe we come back. I try to get her to answer my comment. What are your favorite books? In the meantime, I'll keep hunting through her channel. All right, I have been on a journey. And because these vlogs, I think finding out my TBR is just as exciting as reading my TBR, I'll tell you. I scoured this girl's social media, could not find a book anywhere, which is fine. Couldn't find it in a vlog, couldn't find it through TikTok, couldn't find it on Twitch. She has like 3 YouTube channels. I'm looking so hard. So I figure, okay, I will go to a live stream. I'll watch her play a game I don't care about. She was sponsored that night by somebody and was playing like Rainbow Six Siege. I think that's what it's called. No interest in that, but I was like, okay, I will go. Subs only mode is turned on in the comments, so I can't ask for a favorite book unless I subscribe. So I pay the $7 subscription. Then I'm spamming the comments like an absolute asshole, just trying to ask for a favorite book. But there are 10,000 people watching. Apparently she's just recently popped off, and good for her. She's everywhere and everybody's eyes are on her. Even if she wanted to answer my comment, which I'm sure she didn't, there was no way she was seeing it. About an hour into the live stream of me being the most annoying person alive, I learned, because it's my first time on Twitch, how to get a voice donation message on the screen. So I go to this external site, I pay, I think it was $5. That was the minimum amount so I could have my message read on screen. So I pay that little fee and I sit there for the next 4 hours waiting for my voice message to pop up. There's something going on with the stream where all of the messages are delayed, and like messages that were sent at the very beginning where she was talking about specific topics were showing up 2-3 hours into the stream. So I'm sitting there waiting patiently, listening closely. I can't read a book, I can't do anything else. I'm just like locked in to this live stream waiting for my message. It never comes up, but all the other ones are like $20 and $25, so maybe I have to pay more. I have no idea. I've invested too much money at this point. But she also never ends up getting to play the video game because I think I broke it and she ends up playing Dress to Impress. So at least I'm having a good time doing that. Anyway, so my entire night was pooch. That was a couple days ago now. I spent all day yesterday with my channel members on Discord trying to figure out what books she reads because I found this one TikTok deep in her TikTok from like 2022 where she shows her TV stand and there is a pile of books in there. There's a couple that were more clear than others. Actually, let me go check before I commit to reading anything if anyone has found anything else. I noticed Unlearn, I think that's what this one is. 101 Simple Truths for a Better Life, and then Fuck Love, One Shrink's Sensible Advice for Finding a Lasting Relationship, Trixie and Katya's Guide to Modern Womanhood. Someone else noticed that one of them is Creating Money. And then another one is Joy in the Stars from BuzzFeed. So thank you to my members for helping me figure out what these books are. But the thing is, I don't want to read a nonfiction. I especially don't want to read a self-help book. I'm very opposed to books that are going to help me live my life. When I read them, I get annoyed and then the videos are mean-spirited. I'm leaning towards Joy in the Stars. I've read other astrology things, but I can't find it anywhere. It's literally unavailable on any site that I look. Also, there was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There was one about tattoos that was on her floor in one clip. Somebody found this one and I was so excited because I thought, oh my god, it's finally fiction. But no, it's The Mastery of Love, A Practical Guide to the Art of Relationships. Oh wait, oh my god, wait, oh my god, wait. Someone did find one. What is that? People were talking about the publisher. They found the publisher like logo and then they were deciphering like the fonts and stuff. Yuko Higuchi's Cats and Other Creatures. This looks exactly like something I would expect this person to read because of her cutesy little setup on the TV stand, the Labubu thing. Like, this is so cute. Is it old or does it just look old? Where am I gonna find that? Oh my god, she found another one. What? How do you know that that's the one? You cannot read the title of like any of these. What the heck? How Your Psychic Powers Can Make You Rich by David St. Clair. Emily is incredible. What the heck? Decide now to change your life. You can learn to use these untapped energies of your own mind to increase your income. This just sounds like The Secret. I have been in my witch accusation era. I've had some moments lately. Maybe I'll pull Harrow the Ninth. Wouldn't that be great? No fucking way. Wait, am I a witch? It is Harrow the Ninth, I'm not kidding. Oh boy. I think it's Moulin Rouge. What do you think? Oh, some vampire thing?
Moulin Rouge, you got it.
I did? How did I do that? I've never even seen that poster in my life. Never once. Is that the actual poster of the movie?
I have no idea.
Did I just get a text? Or was that you?
Wasn't me.
We gotta keep an ear out for Liam saying he's done and needs to be picked up.
That was weird.
I'm a witch! I am a witch. It's Liam.
What the fuck? This happens so often.
Okay. 5, 7, 11, 63. Somebody play the lottery. Okay, it looks like the only place I can find this cat book. I'm not the only one looking for it, apparently, but I found one for like $50. And then How Your Psychic Powers Can Make You Rich. Apparently this is like a super rare sought after book and there are listings for $300, $500. I don't want to read that. That's still nonfiction. But if Vanilla, what's her actual name? M? I want to say it's M. If she read this, it's clearly working for her. Do I need this book? But the cow one seems so on brand. Huge shout out necessary for my Discord for figuring out all of the books that I couldn't. One just arrived in the mail. It is from the Goodwill in Minnesota, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I can't believe I ordered this. I'm just about to get on a plane and perhaps this will be the perfect read for the flight. Yuko Higuchi's Cats and Other Creatures. Oh my god, how beautiful underneath. And those, my friends, are bunnies. Bunnies with human bodies. Wait, is this not... Wait. Is this not a book? Is this not a book? Is it just illustrations? Cause they're beautiful. But the pages are blank. Did I order the wrong thing? Or is this just a beautiful book of images that I spent so much money on? Okay, I won't be reading this for the flight because this is decidedly not a book. This stunning collection of 24 artworks created by the cult Japanese illustrator is a must for lovers of all things fantastical and bizarre. That's me. That's Lavender Mace. That's what we have in common that Akinator was tapping into, was our mutual enjoyment of the bizarre. Goodness me, I can't believe I waited 3 weeks to film this clip. And this is what I've been waiting for. Because I am, in fact, extremely powerful, I did find an ebook version of How Your Psychic Powers Can Make You Rich by David St. Clair. As it was written in 1975, it is unfortunately as religious focused as you might expect, as simplistic as you might expect. He says a couple times, have you ever just tried to be rich? Some people complain about not being rich, but have you ever actually really tried? I can't play the piano, but because I never really tried, I can't complain that I don't know how to play the piano. It's also very reductive of people's personal life experience and, you know, chronic pain. He said, have you ever noticed that people who are really ill, they are really negative and they only talk about being really ill? They're probably really ill because they can't stop being negative about being ill. There's lots of metaphors in here, like your mind is a vault and you have to something. There's lots of examples in here, like I met a man once who couldn't get a job promotion, and then one day I told him to ask for a job promotion and he did, and you know what? He got the promotion. We're now getting into meditation and some actual actionable steps, so I'm gonna try out a couple things today. What I do like about this is it's not about wishing and just thinking. He's saying like you have to actually try. You have to actually put forth the effort. This is not a magical instruction guide where if you just think hard enough about winning the lottery, you'll win the lottery. You actually have to do something in your life to get the riches you desire. Though some of it is about controlling things with your mind. Like I read a passage that was saying, just think about having a sore throat. Speak out loud about having a sore throat just as a little test. In fact, maybe even take some medicine for your sore throat. Tell your wife that you have a sore throat and you might not be able to go to work tomorrow, and then wake up tomorrow and I bet you have a sore throat. So I tested it out. I have a sore throat. I have a really sore throat.
Okay.
I don't think I can go to work tomorrow. I'm not gonna be able to clean the house tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna be sick when I wake up.
Okay.
I can feel it.
Okay.
Just letting you know. Do we have aspirin?
No. Are you 90?
I can feel the tissue expanding. What? It feels inflamed. Fully expecting myself to wake up with a sore throat today. Alas, I did not, which is unfortunate. And a little bit of a surprise, just to be honest, because I am a little bit susceptible to a placebo. And now he wants me to meditate. It's so fucking boring. All these books tell you that meditation is the answer to being happier. I'm plenty happy. And I have shit to do. Like, I'm busy. I don't have time to sit and think about nothing. But I'll try it. I'm trying to clear my mind and think about absolutely nothing. God, this is boring. I like the portion where he talked about taking things step by step. He was like, you can't just think about, oh, I need all this money to buy a house. He was like, what's your big goal? And I was like, okay, well, I want to buy a house. I need $700,000. And he was like, okay, think about it like stairs. That's the top of the stairs. You don't have to walk up all of them right now. You have to walk up one of them, and eventually you'll get to your goal, one stair at a time. So I don't need $700,000 today. I need, a down payment. So how do I get to that first step? I just got to the astrology section. 100 of the 250 pages of this book are about astrology and like divided up by each sign. So I of course only read the Aries one because that's the only one I care about. And now there's like 100 pages basically that I just got to skip. A little about me though. A ram doesn't fear the future, for he knows he can take anything that comes. You as an Aries should have the same faith. You're always ready to explore and make things happen. You have pioneer instincts. You like new things, new challenges, new products to test and experiment. You like fire, and fire tempers steel. A steel mill or a manufacturing plant is a good place for you. You do your best under pressure. You like the challenge of converting a base metal into a finished product. You don't like dark and hidden places, so stay away from coal mines. Noted. What else did I screenshot? I must visualize realistically. I must picture myself actually carrying out each suggestion. You see yourself going to the bank and depositing large checks in your account. So I went to bed thinking and visualizing myself winning the lottery. I took those numbers that I said in that live stream a month ago, 5, 7, 11, 63, and I played the lottery the last 2 nights in a row. I haven't seen the results yet. We're going to open them together, but it also said it was going to email me if I won, and I didn't get an email. This is only the second time, maybe third time in my life I've ever played the lottery. Oh, and except I couldn't play the number 63 because apparently lottery numbers only go up to 50. But I did select the extra, and those are randomly selected for you, and I got the number 63. So let's see if my visualization worked. Okay, Pat, they both say winner. They both say winner. Wait, okay. My ticket from Tuesday, July 15th. I won $1. The extra, number 3 was selected for me. That wasn't the ticket that got 63. This one is. Okay, so that was Lotto Max. And then Wednesday, July 16th, there was Lotto 649. And I won $1 with the number 63. With the number 63. With the number 63. Because I knew it. Because I manifested it and I visualized it. Obviously, I'm not even surprised. Like, duh, of course I won the lottery. Oh, chances of winning an extra are like 1 in 6. Okay. Whatever. I won on both of the tickets. Oh, I also have a ticket for Friday. So I'll be sure to pop in if I win anything else. If you don't see me again, I lost my powers. Oh no, wait, first I have to finish this book. 1 second, it's getting witchy. So I learned how to make a talisman. Yeah, there was this stuff all about embracing witchcraft and talking about Disney's perspective on witches and how you should get that out of your mind. I really actually like the section about color and how color can affect your psyche. Color theory is something that I care deeply about. It even talked about like red light therapy and stuff. There was a whole section about being generous and how donating and giving will come back to you tenfold. There was a huge hypnosis chapter, which was a lot. There was a lot about prayer, and then the final section was about cosmic forces. There was a section about a woman who lost weight by eating an apple every day. Anyway, I do unfortunately kind of believe in the law of attraction. I do kind of believe in visualizing the life that you want and that things will work out and that the mind is more powerful than people like to think, but I don't want to talk about that because it makes me sound silly. And I think that's easy to say if you are somebody who things come easily to, or you live a life of privilege where things are set up for you. There is no secret to success in life. I think a lot of things come down to luck and circumstance. But I also don't think anything negative has come from me living the life in the way that I do and thinking the way that I do, and that I have been in control of all of the good things that I have had happen to me. And because the book was talking about like going out and getting what you want and trying hard for it, as well as manifesting, I think it was kind of a good mix. I can't give this more than like a 3.5, but I didn't have a terrible time reading it. This I can't rate because it, wasn't really a story. And I think that Akinator was onto something with pairing me and Vanilla Mace together, because maybe we have a similar outlook and positive spirit. And not that being a YouTuber is rocket science, but there is a lot that goes into it, and it's about dedication and being self-motivated. And I think we both have that within us, that we're drawn to creating art and enjoying art. And I will admit, I tried to get a Labubu this week and I failed horribly. That part of my manifestation did not work. I spent an hour on the Pop Mart website refreshing as soon as the blind boxes popped up, and I was trying desperately to get one, and I failed. So maybe I just wasn't thinking hard enough. But I did win the lottery, so you win some, you lose some. Okay, let's get the cameo over with. I have been putting this off. I don't want to do it, which is why it never turned into a video. I definitely wouldn't want to have to do this 5 times. I'm only doing it once. I think what would make the most sense, I've never even been on this website. I don't even know. Like search, like who would I search? I literally have no clue because I wouldn't want one. I wouldn't want a cameo from anyone. I don't want a personalized message. I might even give a fake name so I can pretend it's not to me. I don't know what this is about me, but I don't want to interact with a public figure. I said in a recent live show, I was like, you could be my favorite actor in my favorite show. You could be at my local coffee shop. It could just be the 2 of us in the building. You could literally have a sign on the table that says, come talk to me, and I wouldn't talk to you. But who would be the least uncomfortable for me to talk to, for them to talk to me? Someone bookish has to be on here. Like an author. Maybe I could literally, can I just search author? I don't know who any of these people are. Could I search My favorite authors, would they be on here? I don't know. I don't know who goes on Cameo. I've never seen any of these people. Actors, reality TV, athletes, comedians, musicians, creators for business. Maybe I Google authors on Cameo. Catherine Valenti, Roxane Gay. Okay, hold on. Send a message. When I go to, oh my God. Wait, that's how much these are? Okay, when I go to someone else's, it says book a Cameo for $200. This one just says follow. Follow for updates. Okay, who do I want a book recommendation from? I need to get a recommendation from a reader. Like, how would I know? I'd have to look them up. And then if I look them up on Instagram and they do share what they read, then I could just take a recommendation from their Instagram and I wouldn't need a direct recommendation that I have to pay $337 for. Also, I don't even think this is what Cameo is supposed to be used for. You're just supposed to pay them and they're just supposed to say like your name and happy birthday. I'm asking, wait, I'm asking them to do work for me? Like research? Look at my favorite books and pick me a new favorite? That's insane. Mara Wilson, she has narrated audiobooks. I've listened to some of her audiobooks. I've heard her voice before. I think this wouldn't make me uncomfortable. And I love her from Matilda. This would be the perfect nostalgic thing. I don't want to scroll anymore. I don't even want to think about this anymore. I'm just going to do this one because I can say like, oh, hey, I've listened to some of your audiobooks. I was curious if you had one in particular you would recommend I listen to that you especially loved recording. Maybe she fell in love with a book while recording the audiobook. I think that's such a fun thing to think about for narrators. Like, I'm sure people read books out loud and they're like, this book kind of sucks. And then there's ones that they're like, oh my God, I'm so into this story. Like, I love it so much. And then also I wanted to add, like, it doesn't have to be ones that she has narrated, but just read on her own time. So I hope that section makes sense. I just mentioned that I like horror and rom-coms because I mostly don't want a nonfiction or a really intense romance. So I hope like that kind of puts her in a certain direction. Now at checkout, it's suddenly 170. Okay. The time has come. I have been sent a Cameo officially. As soon as I woke up, the first email in my inbox was this. So I was like, okay, I have to film it. The second I awaken. Oh, hold on. Okay, we've got our Matilda. Is this giving Matilda or is it more like Junie B. Jones? Oh my God, it's a 3-minute video. Okay.
Hey Kayla, thank you so much for this prompt because honestly, I love talking about the audiobooks that I've done. There really is nothing more that I would rather talk about these days. It's the best job I've ever had. And I mean, I always tell people it's my 2 favorite things. It's reading and it's talking. So of course I would love it. So when it comes to rom-coms, Sarah Adler's books are probably my favorite to record. She did one called Mrs. Nash's Ashes, another one called Happy Medium, and there's one coming out that I just did with her called Finders Keepers that's coming out.
I've never heard of any of these.
I really loved recording that book, so I think that you'll probably really like that one. I do a lot of horror these days, which is funny because I'm actually a huge wimp. I've done a bunch of books with Chuck Tingle, and yes, he writes serious books too. I did a book with him called Camp Damascus. That book was great, really fun to record. I did another book with him called Lucky Day that's coming out soon, and I had a little bit of a cameo on the audiobook for his book Bury Your Gaze. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. Thank you so much for being such a big reader and listener. It really does mean a lot because honestly, this is why I get to do this job, because of awesome people like you who are talking about the books that they love.
Okay, that was very lovely. So that video message was actually 3 minutes long, and she essentially listed her entire, backlist of books. She just listed every single book she's ever narrated, which is fun. And of course I could have looked that up myself, but like she doesn't know that. So I think the obvious choice is a Chuck Tingle. The Lucky Day one isn't out yet, or I would have picked that. I've seen a lot of people love Camp Damascus. So I listened to the beginning, the opening of this, and it's about a girl who has a very extremely religious family, to the point where she is 20 years old and living with them, and they want her to get a husband and start having kids, even though she doesn't have anyone that she's interested in. The book kicked off with like a really beautiful summer scene of her cliff jumping, and I think that it was a really good intro because it gave the vibes of what the story is going to be. She, you know, built up the courage to jump off the cliff, and I think that's going to be a metaphor for her and her queer identity. That hasn't been introduced, but I think that's how it's going to work because the book takes place for the most part at a gay conversion camp. And that's really all I know going into it. The opening, she was with like a friend of hers who she just considered a friend, but apparently him and his parents and her parents have been talking behind the scenes about how they need to get married, and so they just spring it on her as if it's reasonable for someone else to be making that life decision for her. But now I'm curious if her going to the conversion camp is her realizing her sexuality and being forced to go, or if that's going to be her excuse to not get married. She's going to be like, oh, actually I'm gay, and then send me to this camp for the summer. Oh no. So I do feel like objectively that's the right choice. This is the book that everyone would tell me to read because I like horror more than romance. I read horror more than romance. However, I also decided to pick up both of these from the library by Sarah Adler. I was thinking if the first chapters of these don't go well, I'll pick up her brand new one because that one just came out. So I read the first chapter of Happy Medium, and it's about a woman who is like kind of a con artist and she's faking being psychic, which is not my kind of story. And then I started Mrs. Nash's Ashes, and I was like, there's no way this is going to be the one because it's a road trip and a former child celebrity. But guess what? I couldn't stop reading, and I'm halfway through, and I'm actually really liking this one. I don't know how that happened, but a lot of romance books, I kind of can get a vibe at the very early on if that author's writing is going to be like cringy or uncomfortable or whatever. And I actually think it's really interesting, Mara Wilson having narrated it, because she is having the main character Millicent, yeah. She's having regular encounters with people who like recognize her from her youth, and they're like, you had such a big impact on my life, you were in this show that I loved. And she hasn't done anything since she was a child, but this fame is following her around, but it doesn't actually impact her day to day. It's just something she reflects on regularly as like a nice part of her life. And overall, it's just kind of like a sunshine, happy kind of vibe. She is a very positive person, and the guy that she's encountered, who they met a long time ago, but they run into each other when they're both in the same location and they're both about to go somewhere. She no longer has a way to get there, and he offers her a ride. He's a very grumpy to her sunshine, and I like the dynamic. I like their little bit of banter, and they've ended up in this small town because their car can no longer go on, and they're like getting caught up in the town's festivities. There's like a festival coming up, and they're like, you guys should be involved, and one of them wants to be and one of them doesn't. I don't know, it's just like a fun time. I'm having a fun time with it, and we are just about to leave on a trip, and I figured this would be the perfect thing to read on the plane. Called Mrs. Nash's Ashes is because our main character was friends with this older woman, and she shared with her some moments from her life, and one of them being this long lost love of hers who was also a woman, and they couldn't be together at the time, and she's always thought about her. And there are these little moments where we get kind of excerpts from their life together. It almost started to feel like a book inside the book, and I was like, oh, this is not what I want to be. Like, I can't even find one. That's how few and far between they are. There's a reason that they're in here, and I thought it was really good for the book. But so she dies without professing her love. They've shared letters with each other over the years, and so Millicent takes it upon herself to go scatter the ashes of this woman, her friend, and also reconnect her with that long lost love. So she wants to head down to Florida and, you know, give her some of the ashes and give her some letters. So that's what part of the road trip is about. And then she does end up getting to conclude that entire storyline, but also she's falling in love with this man, and it was a really nice tone to me. Like, it wasn't super rom-com, but it was fun and it was light. There was a moment, you know, you have that classic third act, like, oh my god, what have we done? We've been together for this road trip, like, how can we have these feelings for each other so quickly? Let me like take a step back. But things were resolved pretty well. The writing was good. It was a really solid, like, 4-star good romance. Happy to have read it. We're back home now. I did start reading Camp Damascus on the trip, but I only read, I think, the first like 5 chapters. And now that we're home and Summer Ween is complete, I've gotten back into this. I only have a couple chapters to go. And my thoughts at this point are, one, I'm surprised that this isn't marketed as YA because it feels very youthful. We're following someone who's 20, but it feels like maybe they were set up to be like 17 in the original draft or something around that age. It's a girl deconstructing. She's having a lot of disillusionment once she realizes what the faith that she is participating in is really up to. But at the same time, I think the book is handling, not that I'm religious, but religion a little more respectfully than like other people would do with this topic. Of course, now I can't find the exact passage, but there's talk about how the people in this situation, the powerful figures, the influential figures, the adults you're supposed to be able to trust, they are taking advantage of a situation and they are causing harm. But there is a character who said something along the lines of like, I'm having an issue with what people are doing with religion, but my actual faith is intact. There's a supernatural religious horror element of this, and Rose is navigating that while navigating her sexuality. And there is a moment where I realized that this book is a little bit different than what I thought because the timeline is a little bit different. And I thought that was really interesting and it hooked me. In the first half, I found fascinating. And now that we're into like the more creaturous uncoverings of things and more violence, it still feels like really YA horror to me as far as how far descriptions are going. I'm definitely losing a little bit of interest, but I like the themes. I just thought it would be more like, I don't know, but I'm a cheerleader, where you actually get to follow her at the camp and things are happening from there, and then, you know, the horror would take off. That's really not what this book is. It's more about Camp Damascus as an entity and learning about it and taking it down. Not that I thought there would be fun camp elements, but I thought that we would like be going to camp, you know, and that's just not the vibe. There is a sapphic love story happening. Love that. The audiobook narration is fantastic. And I'm just gonna wrap it up now and give you my final rating. There are books that I love for their heavy-handed messaging. I'm like, say your point, say it again, say it again. And so I want to look at this and say the same thing, that I like that it really hammered home its messages. It didn't leave any room for interpretation. It wanted to represent a certain thing, and I like that for it. But because it's so short, like this is under 300 pages, and it introduced a lot of interesting things, like the horror elements and the relationships and various internal battlings from our main character, I wanted it to expand on so many other things, but it was busy hammering home its religious point. So though I don't think this book really has any flaws, I'm giving it a 3.5 for my experience. A lot of things were glossed over and we got through really quickly. Even Rose's grappling with the life that she's lived her entire life and what has been presented to her and what is fact and her belief system. It changes so quickly once she's presented with new information, which is the dream, right? When you have all the facts and you're presented with the truth, you should change your mind and go on to support other people in their journeys of understanding the truth. But it just didn't feel the most, I don't want to say realistic because everybody's journey is different, but as a book, as a character, as the pace went, I think we needed a little more of her going back and forth between things and really uncovering more stuff rather than just an instant flip. That's what I personally would have liked more. And the relationships we got introduced to, navigating them just a little bit longer. I like this book and I will definitely be reading his upcoming one because Bury Your Gaze wasn't for me. I DNF'd that one, but down to give him a go again. Definitely an author to check out if you haven't before, doing good gay horror. And that, my friends, is a wrap on the canceled videos video. Did I make the right decision canceling these videos? Akinator led me to Vanilla Mace, which had me reading these two books. Could I have made an entire video out of that? Yes, with 5 more people, but you would have had to watch me play the game for way longer, and I think it would have gotten a little boring. Just to impress, I could have read more classic children's things probably, or more things outside of my comfort zone, but popular books are often flops for me. So I think I liked it to being contained in this vlog. The buzzworthy book is probably the one I could have made most into its own standalone video. I ended up reading this, which I liked, and I definitely could dive into more of the authors in here. And Cameo led me to these 2 books, which I liked, but I would have had to find more people and spend more money. So I think I also like this being contained within a canceled videos video. In total, I invested $316 into this vlog. So shout out to free services like Akinator and the library that had most of my books. Otherwise that total would have been a lot higher. Biggest shout out to my channel members for helping me fund videos like this. And I'm gonna use my psychic powers to convince 100 more of you to join my channel membership. We have a good time and you see them support me monetarily, mentally, bookishly. Biggest thanks of all goes to you for watching, coming back to my channel every week and seeing what stupid vlog that I have to offer you. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next week. Bye!